my door is falling off. I just discovered over there's a hinge, and that sound it makes, that's one bolt fell out, and I don't have a replacement, so this will have to wait till I'm back in the shop. So I'm going back to the shop anyway, because they didn't have the shocks for the truck. I think they changed the shocks on the steer axle, and they changed, I think, the rear axle. But yeah, this one I see they're still old. And also a funny thing happened when I was loading this thing. I discovered a missing bolt. The brand new shocks they installed, one of the shocks, like the bolt must have been not tightened properly, and it just fell off. I bought some gloves because it's still chilling, even though it's like +2. Okay, hold on. I need 123. 1, 2, 3. 123 centimeters. That's what the 1, 2, 3. That's what the book says for my height, because these are hiking poles, or Nordic walking poles, and if they're too loose, you just tighten this a little bit, and then they go really strong. So 123, 120, 123. Probably I'm gonna remove these because there's hardly any snow. Yeah, and I left my good gloves at home, so now I got full tanks of diesel here. But I'm gonna show you something. We're gonna climb on the top. Hold on, which way is correct? Okay, this way. And basically then I'm just going for a walk. I know this area. I used to walk here with my camera. Now I don't have a camera, but I know where to go. And so yeah, I drove the trailer and I went. So over there. Okay, hold on. Let me just climb on the top here. Anyway, so this is Pennsylvania, right? And that's US 15. Like, where's this truck is going? The white truck, that's US 15. That's how I came. And then you take this ramp, and at the top of that hill I see a blue sign that says "Welcome to New York." So this is PA, over there that's New York, and there's a truck stop over there. And I stopped here and I went to see if there's any spots, but it's too many trucks there. I cannot turn around, so I'm gonna stay here. I cannot enter New York because there's no driving on the weekend, and today's Sunday. And this road east, 49 East, it's still Pennsylvania, but then once you reach the intersection there, you turn left or north, and like in 100 meters, 300 yards, you see a sign, "Welcome to New York." And diesel over there is 309. Diesel over here is 325, which is pretty much the same because the fuel tax is higher in Pennsylvania, so probably your net price is like $3. But I didn't want to pay out of my pocket now more than I have to, so I went in there to that US side, there's a quick fill there, and I got 160 gallons, 165 gallons at 309. All right, I just want to show you a few. Yeah, my truck is super dirty. I'm gonna wash it. I already know where. Once I deliver, this thing goes to Ottawa, Ontario, the capital of Canada. And on the way back, there's a pilot in Napanee, Ontario, and now they have a, I think, speed code, like the little service center where you can do oil change, and they have a truck wash. I remember looking at it and thinking maybe I should wash the truck, but back then it was still winter. There was still lots of snow and dirt on the ground, but now you see, now it's all did I lock the doors? We'll double check. I'll be gone like an hour. So there's a lake, there's a lake and a very scary looking dam up this road about a couple of miles. I'm gonna walk there because I was driving, so sitting, and I read an interesting piece of news about old age and losing the, you know, the shape, physical shape. Turns out people that stay active, they don't lose much even when they're 60 and 70, you know. They were comparing some cyclists, people that like to cycle for fun, and even when they're like 70, they still have, you know, good muscle mass and their bones are okay. So basically you become weak in an old age, not so much because you're old, but because you don't move, you know. And I really like this activity, this Nordic walking. The only thing is, I don't like walking on pavement because it destroys the sticks. It's too harsh on the tips, and I do have rubber tips, but they don't last very long. I like these sharp ones, kind of like the spikes, and that's why I wanna walk on the dirt. On a dirt surface, and I love it. All the muscles work, you know. Not too much, you know, but that's why, of course, you know, later on I'm gonna add a weighted vest to my arsenal of physical activity toys. Yeah, this is the Exxon where I wanted to go. Yeah, diesel is actually not 325, it's 329. And so I spent 2 nights, I think. Today's Sunday, so I shut down there Friday, Saturday. Yeah, 2 nights. I spent 2 nights in Duncannon at the Pilot. And also went for a walk, but there's no shoulders in there. Everything is paved, and so I crossed the river over the bridge, and there's a railroad track on the other side where there's PA 147, and thankfully that PA 147 had a shoulder like this, with dirt. And so I walked a few times back and forth because it was that stretch with the dirt shoulder was only less than a mile long. And so I'm walking like this, the road, but I was on that side. The road is here, the rail tracks are there, and on the other side of the rail tracks was a huge hill, like a mountain, you know, very steep, covered in trees, like 45-degree angle. And then I'm walking back, so now that mountain is on my left, and I see near the river there's a bunch of cars parked, but I didn't see any fishermen near the water. It's too cold, you know. And then I see a group of people going around the railroad cars, and I'm like, wait a second, is there a path in there on that hill? So I see one crowd of people walked around the railroad cars and started climbing like in a zigzag way, you know, that mountain. And so I realized all those cars, they were all hikers, because it was Saturday. And I saw a couple of them had poles like this, because these are really handy when you climb, you know, a hill. Yeah, see over here, that's all pavement, that's no good. I think later on, yeah, there's a dam. I see that thing. It's a very scary looking dam. We'll go see what's happening there. But and so yeah, I saw people, even the second large crowd even had a small kid, like what looked like 6 or 7 years old, walking with them. And I thought, wait a second, if a small kid like that can climb that hill, maybe I can too. I can do too. But I decided not to. It looked a bit scary. And then I came on a sign that said Appalachian Trail. Maine to Georgia. And that mountain was northbound on that trail. You know? And there's crazy people like that, right? They would go and they would cross on the entire country just following the signs for a trail. You know? Yeah, I read about this somewhere. They're like these hiker fanatics. They just follow a trail all the way from beginning to end. And they carry a lot of gear, so they sleep in tents. And then if the bear doesn't get them, they continue hiking on the next day. So it's all cool. So the road goes up. So that's the gas station. And I'm looking straight. I see the blue sign, welcome to New York. Yeah, it's going to be a long climb. Let me just pause the recording. I will start at the top where you can see the lake. So I reached the top of the hill. There's a lake over there. And that structure is the dam where they can, you know, let the water out So this looks like an artificial reservoir. And on this side, looks like they had to do a lot of work. You see, to cut all this rock to create this highway. But now they have lots of these frozen waterfalls in here on the left side. So the lake is to my right, frozen waterfalls are to my left. And what I did this weekend, so of course Monday I plan to cross the border into Canada. So what I had to do was, number one, I had to revise my New York permit because there was something wrong on it, and now I need a pilot. So a pilot has been arranged. The guy is meeting me Monday at that he's meeting me Monday at that spot where I'm stopped, and I cannot enter New York on the weekend, as I mentioned anyway. I did the bridge, what is it called, TLP, truckload program. We have to fill out some information online, and then they tell you if it's okay or not to cross. And so I did that, and they allowed me. They said everything is cool, so I can cross, because they ask you that, you know, when you come to that Peace Bridge, they ask you for that they call it PBA number. I thought that little waterfall starts to melt, and the ice looks really clean, whereas on the other ones the ice looked ugly and old. All right, hold on, how did I? And the trees are growing right on the slope. I think there'll be one more. Well, you cannot come close here to the lake because it's all looks like private property. There's a fence. And there's signs every 10 meters, you know, no trespassing. And when they put them that often, you know, they're not kidding. But behind the bend, if I remember correctly, there's a old and forgotten you know, one of those areas where people can park their car and just go and look at scenery. But it's closed. There's like a barrier in front of it, and it's all, the concrete just cracked up, and there's, you know, vegetation everywhere. But it used to be like a rest area, but it's been deactivated, probably by the FBI or CIA or something like that. But I went there because I didn't have a car, and I didn't see any signs that said anything about no walk-ins. So remember, I had a camera, so I was just looking for a cool view, but So that's why I like this, you know. I like this hiking stuff because you don't need, all you need is this 2 poles. Each one weighs 200 grams. No, both of them I think weigh 200 grams, half a pound. Now you see the lake. Again, no trespassing. But over there the fence ends, and at the top of that hill after the curve, that's where I remember there was this I don't know why I'm thinking about the German word verloren. Verloren, abandoned. That's the abandoned rest area. So yeah, border crossing. The border crossing is set up. I did my ACI manifest. It's already approved. I have the entry number, which means that they're waiting for my arrival, so border crossing is good. The bridge crossing, like I said, the TPL is good. The pilot has been arranged. Now all I need is, and they promised me I should get it first thing in the morning on Monday, is my revised New York permit. And also I'm a couple of tons over my annual permit for Ontario. So it's because I took the booster. Well, even without the booster I would be too heavy. So either I need the Jeep, but the Jeep is in Cambridge, 2 hours away from the border. I cannot do that without a permit. And like I said, my annual permit does not cover me for this. So on Friday afternoon I filled out that form I have on my computer for a single trip permit, and I emailed it to the Ministry of Transportation of Ontario. So hopefully it doesn't take long. So I'm gonna cross the border and sit right there at the border with the truck stop and the pilot, and just see. I hope that permit does not take too long. Oh, and one more thing that's happening is I purchased a set of headers for my Challenger Skatback 6.4 500 horsepower beauty, and I have to pick them up on my way to Canada in Buffalo. So I'll have to figure out. It's pretty much on my route, but I don't want to go in there because I won't be able to turn around. So probably I'll give a couple of bucks to my pilot and ask him to take me to that post office where these headers are waiting for me. So it's long tube headers, then a set of meat pipes with high flow cats, and some kind of oxygen sensor extensions, like cables, because they say if you don't use those cables, your computer will give you a check engine light, because you know, high flow cats and long tube headers, they increase the volume of gases, right? And so that can screw up the emission system, and so you need these extensions on the cable, on the sensors, in order for the system to not to give you trouble. Good weather today, not too cold. You know, the air is okay, even though these cars are flying by. And over there I see there's a bend in the railing, and that's where that rest areas, but I'm not sure I want to go all the way there. Maybe I'll just go to this junction over here. You guys can look it up on the map if you want to follow my hiking trail. Now you see where that pickup truck is turning at 60 miles an hour. So that road is called Boom Station. Yeah, Boom Station Road. And weight limit is 10 tons. So we're gonna turn around here. So it goes into, there's more hills in there. There's a lake here. Hills on the other side. And it's always a good idea to walk towards the traffic so they can see you. And unfortunately there's no, of course, it's still too early for any leaves. So it all looks rather dull. But yeah, when I was here, I remember I even took a picture of that house in there. I had a tele lens and I thought it would make like everything was green. And I took a picture of that, kind of like a scenery with a house in the distance. And so I should be able to deliver that excavator sometime Tuesday in Ottawa, and then I'll drive back to Cambridge. That's about 4 hours, 250 even more miles, and I'll leave the truck at the shop. So they should install the missing bolt on the shock, and they install 2 more shocks on the truck, and I'll ask them to fix that hinge on the door. And it's a bit too early for my oil change, but like 5,000 kilometers or 3,000 miles. But I'm thinking maybe I should do it now. I'll see, because the truck is in the shop anyway, and those guys are pretty, they have the pricing is pretty good. And then in Cambridge I have to pick up my new shiny camera, Nikon D780, and a new lens, Nikon 18-35. And I'm gonna take my car to those guys at the OK Tire. I checked and triple checked with them. I said, are you comfortable? Are you sure you can do this? Because they did all my exhaust work, right? And so they swear they can install the headers. And so we're gonna do before and after, you know, like how the exhaust sounds before the install and after. Like, it's pretty loud now with no resonators and Flowmaster Super 10. I love it. So with long tube headers I should get about 50 horsepower extra and about twice the amount of exhaust sound. So I always thought about this, but I never had long tube headers on my cars. Sorry for my running nose, but it's a bit chilly and I'm walking pretty fast. And I think last time that's what I did. I went on that hill not as steep as it looks. Look at that. Because from there you see it's pretty interesting what you can see from the very top. So the hill in Duncannon was pretty much like this, except it was all covered with trees, and so the path was like this, because this allows you to reduce the angle, right? And that's what I can do too over here. Well, if I go straight up, it's going to be like 80 degrees. I'll be puffing and you know, it'll be difficult. Oh, check out this sign. You don't see this every day. Notice: government vehicles only. Alright, let's see if I can make that hill. Because I know that from the top the view is amazing. That'll be a good, it'll be a good workout. Except I'm not gonna walk there. No, yeah, I don't like this. I don't like the tall, dry grass. Because you can... I don't think they have bugs on them yet. See, like if there were no of this, I could go this way, then this way, then this way. But yeah, this is very steep. No, change of plans. But you see, that's what happens when you have these hiking poles, you know. You can easily adjust your load, you know, on the muscles. You can make it easy, you can make it more difficult. No special equipment is required. So I'm telling you, I'm a big fan of this Nordic walking now. Should go on the other side. What am I doing here? You see, all this shoulder is all paved. Now this is, I'm going back, right? So that's where, when they open the dam, where there's too much water over there, over here there's lots of, you know, water coming down, but now it looks like those override things are dry, but it's like a tunnel in there. When you have too much water, they open that. So now it's quite a weak stream down there. I think I went down there too last time, because you'll see down there there's what looks like another rest area, and I saw a woman walking around there, like basically for fitness, around her car. Not sure how she got there, because there's no road in here. She must have come from that side, probably behind the gas station. So see, that's pretty cool. All right. So that all that green, that's all like artificial. That's the dam, and this is the water that goes from whatever's open now, and it's all government property. U.S. government property, no trespassing. And on the other side of that stream I see a little turnaround and a little building that looks like some public bathrooms on the other side, so people can park their cars in there and go for a walk. Not sure where, because there's not much to see there, but yeah, over there where my pole is pointing, there's a little outhouse and a little turnaround area with some parking for cars on the other side. And there's a similar thing on this side. I'll show you in a second. But yeah, very hilly, very hilly. Took me a while to climb that 7-mile long hill on 15 north of what is it? Right when you jump on US 15 from I-180, right? Like maybe 5-10 minutes north, and you have this huge hill. I don't know, it took me a long time to climb with this excavator. I see lots of geese in the water. We have a small lake on this side, but that looks like a probably private property. So I'm all ready for tomorrow. So I got fuel, I got border crossing, bridge crossing, pilot. I made up 2 bills of lading with my company name on them. I made up my invoice in advance, the one that I will send to the broker for payment. I'm all set up. All I need now is just go up that hill and enter New York. And again, they're sending me on a wild goose chase because of the height. I told them I'm 13 feet 11 inches tall, and so it's probably gonna take me like 4 hours from here to reach Buffalo. Okay, and so here we have the same kind of deal like on that side, except here there's no outhouse. There's like an area for cars to turn around and they can park, and I see one car parked there near the river, and I guess you can walk here. That looks like a path. That probably would be better for hiking, huh? If I stop here again, that's what I'll do. Let's go hiking alongside that little creek. Because even on the weekend, there's too many cars here. Too much noise, no pollution. The air should be better over there near the water. Yeah, and I was right. I see this road. It starts right at the gas station, at that Exxon. that's what they're doing. They're walking around their dog. Now the dog wants to eat me. Yeah, you see the road over there? And that's the gas station. So I'm back at Exxon. My truck is hopefully still parked on the other side there. So the plan now is to go and watch some Netflix. My Verizon sent me a message again that I used up my 20 gigabytes of hotspot, and I was watching a movie, and then I switched to my Canadian phone, and guess what? I could not finish that movie because it says unavailable in your country. Wait a second, I'm still in the States, but because I'm using my Canadian phone, they think now I'm in Canada, because you know I'm using Canadian access for the internet. And I forgot what I was watching, but I really wanted to finish that movie, so I realized, wait a second, I have a tablet from Verizon that has its own internet, so it does not count towards the hotspot, and the internet itself for me is unlimited, both on the phone and on the tablet. And so of course it's a much smaller screen, but the resolution was pretty good, and so I finished watching that movie on the tablet. And so I don't know, maybe I'll do the same thing today. But here there's a lot of hills around, and I'm right next to the New York line, so the signal is not very good here. Neither from Verizon, neither from AT&T, which my Canadian Rogers phone is on. I see this road, and it starts right there. Oh yeah, it's called the Park and Ride over here. And you can leave your car over there and go for a walk, or you can just drive if it's open. There's a gate there, you can drive in there to the water. Yeah, it was a good walk, good day for walking. So that's my Sunday movie, another blockbuster from Sergei Dratchev. Thank you for coming with me on this journey, Nordic walking style. Next video will be about probably unloading the Volvo excavator in Canada. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Ciao.